How to draw Metatron's cube. Start by drawing the fruit of life, and to do this you will need to add 13 circles in this design. You can use the seed of life to help you get them in the right place. Then you draw the centres of each circle so they connect to the centre of every other circle. You can see you create a hexagon with a smaller hexagon inside, then an equal triangle facing down, a smaller triangle in the centre, and a smaller triangle facing down, and then you connect the other two parts to create another triangle from each one of the circles, so each circle meets the centre of each other circle, and then you have met. Drawing the seed of life with a pair of compasses. To do this, you need to draw a central circle. Once you have your centre circle, you then need to find the point onto the side so that it exactly lines up with the centre point. And draw another circle. Once you have this, you're then looking to find the connecting point between the two lines. You'll create the triquester, which is another famous old symbol. You then need to look for the point where they join. To draw the 64 star tetrahedron, you will need a seed of life. You will connect the lines together to form a hexagon around the edges of the seed of life. You will then draw a central triangle with a smaller triangle inside, and then it's simply a question of joining up the small pieces together to make more and more triangles. This way you will eventually create triangles underneath triangles, which gives it the three-dimensional look. And you will see that because it's triangles, everything happens in threes. So when you do one corner to another, you always end up doing the next two parts of that same triangle. You can break it down into these smaller parts, and then you have the star. Adding colour to the star tetrahedron. Okay, and there you go. Thanks for watching. How to draw the flower of life enclosed by two circles. Start by drawing the seed of life, where you have 6 circles around a centre circle. Then, at the joining point of each of these circles, draw another set of circles, so you end up with a whole bunch of circles going around the outside. It will form the beginnings of the flower of life. Then add half circles around each edge to fill in the petal shapes so that you get a completed petal, and then add the last little row of little semicircular bits around the edges, which are quite tricky. I recommend drawing it in pencil and then using that to guide. And then you draw one circle around the whole thing, and then another circle around that. And the Merkaba. Start with a triangle. Then draw another triangle the same size behind it. Once you've done this, draw a smaller triangle in the centre of the first triangle. Then connect the centre point to the corners. Once you've done this, use a pencil to add in the other lines, which you'll need for when you add the tone. Add highlights to one side where the light will catch it. I've used a pen. Then, using a pencil, add light to the flat front side, but give it a three-dimensional look by changing the direction of your shading. This way it will look like it's slightly indented. Then add highlights to the top sections so that it really gives that three-dimensional Merkaba vibe. To draw the double vector equilibrium, you need to start with a hexagon, which you will draw like so, and then you need to add two triangles to the hexagon to create a star. Once you've done that, you need to draw a second hexagon using the exact measurements. I recommend drawing around the first one with a compass to get the circle, and then you'll know exactly where the ends of the lines go. Once you've got two hexagons, you need to draw two more triangles, which will create this 12-pointed star. Then you need to find the center points of where they join to draw the next triangles. The triangles will make a smaller 12-pointed star in the center of your double vector equilibrium. To draw the Sri Yantra, you need to do an upward facing triangle, then a downward facing triangle. The upward facing triangles represent Shiva and masculinity, and the downward triangles represent Shakti and female energy. You combine the triangles, one facing down, one facing up, to create this intricate pattern, always making sure that you line up the joins to the corners of the triangles, eventually making 43 triangles in total. Once you have lined them up, you will need to make sure that everything is perfect, and when it is, using a straight edge, make sure it's all perfect, and then get a compass, draw a circle around the edges, and then add the bindi in the middle. Okay, to draw the Lotus of Life, which with the center point, find the connecting point. So from that point there to that point there, make a little tiny mark. Need to draw a central circle. If you've done that, you need to position the compass onto the edge of the circle, directly in line with the center point, and draw another circle. We'll make the Visica Pisca, which is that shape in the middle. As meeting this little point here, you put the compass point in, and you draw a third circle, which should go through the hole you made with the compass when you drew the last circle, like so. And you will end up with a triquesta. Okay, we're going to draw the vector equilibrium on top of a flower of life. To do this, we need to connect lots of lines together, starting with the two outside lines. To draw the multi-dimensional flower of life, you need to have a sphere-like shape. To do this, I've drawn it with 3 sets of lines, getting slightly more straight as I get towards the centre of the circle. This gives the illusion of a sphere, and you can see that I then need to draw a circle around the outside. Then I need to add the flower of life, which is drawn with circles joined together so that they create an overlapping pattern. You will need to do this several times, going around where they join, behind the lines of the multidimensional sphere. Once you've done this, you will have a flat flower of life, but it will look 3-dimensional due to the perspective created